everybody. It is November 1st. It's your man, D-CEE, the musical artist, and you're tuned into the Hot Spot with D-CEE. First of all, I want to say rest in peace to Ranch Allen from the gospel group that's been around for many years. He passed away a few days ago. Also, rest in peace to Sean Connery, an actor that, played on so many movies, James Bond movies and all that. We are just a few days away from the election, y'all. Some of us have already done the early voting. Great. But it's a lot more about than just voting. It's who you vote for and having an understanding of that. If you are, I'm going to start off with us. If you are black, you know who you should be voting for. Now, in your cities, because you got to do your research there as well. You got to look for which questions to vote yes on, which questions to vote no on, because it will affect you. This is not a game. Every 4 years it gets serious with the voting. We cannot let this man remain in the White House any longer. And you people really need to get out of the whole Democratic, Republican BS. That's not about that. Open your eyes, open your ears, try to get as much information as you can. It may be hard sometimes because you got the internet, social media that may misform you with lies. You got the news that may misinform you with lies. Sometimes you got to search for the facts. Sometimes you got to search for that. But we know that Trump is not for us. And white people, if y'all think that Trump is for y'all, if you ain't rich, there are all type of levels of white people as there's all type of level of black people. If you are not rich, the policies, he got a 1-page policy for the platinum plan. Biden and Ms. Harris has a plan, several plans for us. Now, you could sit here and say, well, he did this, he did that. I don't really care about that. That was in his past. It's what is the man doing now? That's what I'm concerned about. What is he going to do now? And no matter who gets in the White House, we're going to hold them accountable. See, we hold this man accountable, but he's going to do his thing. He don't really care about the American people, at least not us. See, you got this clown. I'm trying not to swear. Today is Sunday. Today, every day is the Lord's Day, but I'm trying not to swear. You got this clown, not Kanye West. You got this clown, Lil Wayne, going to the White House and think that Trump is actually going to help us. Lil Wayne is rich. So, whatever this clown does is not going to affect him as much as it's going to affect us. And I say to this Dominican brother that I talked to that said he's voting for Trump, do not listen to the news. Don't listen to read between the lines because he don't care about you. That's number one. I don't know where you're getting your source of information from, but I think you are lost. I want you to really, really think about it. I want people to really, really think about it. Is this president really for you? Now, if you're a white supremacist, if you believe in all white rights, then he's for you. But if you believe in equal rights for everyone, he's not for you because he ain't about equality. He's about divide and conquer to make America great again. Now, us as black people, us as minorities, and some white people, be honest with yourself. Is America great? Was it ever great? We came here as slaves. Now you're going to say, you didn't, your ancestors did. Well, who are my ancestors? My ancestors are me. We built this country. I have a song called King and Queens where it's talking about that. But y'all rather hear all this other stuff and you don't want to give me credit for that. But that's a whole nother story. But is it? He did not bring racism here, but he promoted hate from the get-go. From the get-go. Because your people, your followers, most of them don't got no sense. So when you start talking about Muslims, when you start talking about Chinese people, when you start talking about Mexicans, when you talk about what police should do to criminals, whether they're criminals or not, if you're given the okay for this behavior and they know that they're going to be protected, they're going to do what they're going to do. It's funny that I was looking at this this video, these videos all day yesterday. I mean, it was Halloween, whatever. I watched some Halloween movies and all that, but just seeing what Michael Jackson went through, why he was here on this earth, how people discriminated against him. And all he wanted to do was bring the world together. His love for kids, because he didn't have the freedom to have a childhood. And he wasn't really complaining. He enjoyed the success. He enjoyed the love from the fans. But he was mistreated by police. When he got locked up for no reason. False accusations, which later came back to those people that were trying to make lies to cash out of money, to get money. They was able to just try to destroy this man's image, the police department. One guy's father that committed suicide because you know what? His conscience was eating him up. The guilt was eating him up. He already had the devil in him. The boy that said these con artist people and his mother, what they tried to do to this man. What the Sony records tried to do to him, because why? He owned half of Sony. He owned half of Sony. He was going to get Marvel, but they stopped that. He told how people were trying to kill 50% of Sony he owned. I don't know what's making me look more into Michael Jackson's death, or should I say murder. But the point I'm trying to make is the more successful you get as a black man in this country that's supposed to be so great, they will literally kill you slowly, or kill your image, kill you as a person. 2009, June 2025 of 2009, he was murdered. He kept telling people that everybody was after his catalog, everybody was after all those people. They couldn't find one guilty thing on this man. And then here you got Oprah that decides to do this HBO special and make things even worse. And she should be ashamed of herself. I will never respect this woman again. I would never respect her. She tried to destroy one of her own people. And the two boys, men you had, they're not even men. These two punks went on the show to say that Michael Jackson molested them. But on the stand, they were saying that he didn't do that. Because you know what the truth is? He didn't. They want to collect money. It's all about money with everybody. Just like the guy that commits suicide. He wanted money. He wanted money. He wanted money. And he went out of his way, even though this kid kept saying, Michael Jackson did not molest me. He did not do this. People were mad at him saying, why do you have these kids? Why do you have all these kids? You're a grown man. Now, honestly, I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why these parents were allowing these kids to come by. Did I think he did anything to these kids? Absolutely not. His only crime was that he loved too much, and people took advantage of him. People took his kindness for weakness. But see, there were a lot of smart things about him. He was a businessman. He was an entertainer. He focused on his music, but he was a businessman. But he had love for kids. He did a lot for the communities, black, white, people out of the world. There was a woman that threw both of her kids. I don't know what she was going through. She tried to commit suicide to herself. She threw a baby off there. The baby died. And her other kid that she threw off there survived. Guess who paid for the funeral? Guess who paid for the expense of everything? Michael Jackson. There was some shooting going on in the whatever. Guess who was there? Because this whole everybody plays a part. Everybody's responsible. He looked at what was going on in the world with the environment. He looked on what was going on with the animals. He looked on what was going on with people. And anything he could do to help, he helped. I was in tears looking at those videos because this man gave his life as an entertainer, as a human being, humanitarian. He did it from his heart. He didn't do it because he wanted to be a write-off. There was the Victory Tour where people scammers were trying to charge more for the tickets. So what Michael did is donate his money to charity. He didn't spend a dime from that Victory Tour. And he made sure that those people were treated right. There's a lot. You got to check out Michael Jackson, the humanitarian. You have to check that video out. It's on YouTube. I should have took down the name. And you'll see all the things that he's done. And you'll see he wrote a song called It Doesn't Matter If You're Black or White, which we all know. But at the end of the day, as he stood up more and more to the powers that be, he got to see that it does matter if you're black or white. Because the way that they treated him, he had to go in the bathroom and they locked him in for 45 minutes as he told a news reporter, fetus, doo-doo, whatever you want to say, was all in there. And they said, how do you like it? He said, it's all right. He didn't curl up. He knew what they were doing to him. They were doing to him on purpose. Imagine if you heard that Michael Jackson died in prison. Because it could have possibly happened. The police department hated him. You got to find out from his nephew that they dealt with racism. We didn't think, because this is a big $1 million group. Him alone was worth so much as a solo artist, but as a group just as well. You didn't think that people that toured all over the world, that was receiving love from everybody, would be getting so much hate. He dealt with police brutality. He had a song that talked about the police off of the History album. See, this is when he was getting back at people. He was doing what hip-hop artists do. I think about the song this time around. I think about Moscow. I think about For the Love of Money. I think about a lot of these songs that he did. Scream. And of course, They Don't Care About Us. There's a reason why he was doing those songs. He knew what was going on in the world, how we were being treated, because he has dealt with it himself. What they did to Neverland, they tore the place down. They had all the police people in there. They would showing the photos to everybody, all his naked photos that they took of him, and was showing it off to people. And one guy admitted that he was allowed to see it as well. So their whole thing was to dispose of this guy. Think about it. All of the people, all our heroes, they tried to destroy their character. Now, it's not enough to just try to destroy them, but now you're trying to take away their dignity. You're trying to then they try to say he was suicidal. He wasn't suicidal. Conrad Murray, you sellout ass motherfucker. I have no respect for that guy. If he was right in front of me right now, whether or not LaToya said LaToya Jackson, of course Michael Jackson's sister, said that it wasn't him alone that murdered her brother. But the fact that he was even responsible and that he did what he did, we no longer see him here. And a lot of people feel like he's maybe better off not being here. But say that to his family. Say that to his kids, his 3 kids. The world still Amarion, shout out to Amarion that did a special at, he was promoting his music or whatever, but also showing respect to Michael Jackson. He got to talk to his son. Prince Jackson. He got to talk to him and just go in his home where he recorded Thriller, where he recorded Off the Wall and Thriller at. And you definitely need to check that out too. You need to check that out if you can. I watched it a couple of times. And he was an amazing man. As people say, he was an angel walking on this earth. He just wanted to love people, and he wanted to be loved. But most of us did not love him. We're quick to criticize, not knowing. And then when the autopsy came, when the disease that he was talking about on his skin, they found that out to be true. They found out why he had to get plastic surgery, why he had to do certain things to himself. But here we are, so quick to judge. You never know what you got until it's gone. Why am I talking about him? Because never got a chance to see him perform. I never got the chance to meet him in person and said, I love what you do. Keep doing it. I know you have a lot of people that's against you. You have this gift, you have this talent that brings the world together. But there are going to be people out here that's going to hate on you. As much as his mother wished that she could have protected him, you couldn't. And even his father might not have been the greatest father in the world, but he loved his son. As much as he wanted to protect his son, he couldn't from this world. But getting back to this Trump guy, we can't play around with this voting. I would say it doesn't matter who you vote for as long as you vote. I can't say that. I gotta say that we gotta make the right choice, the right decision. Because he ain't did nothing. He ain't doing nothing but dividing us, destroying us. And if we let him in there for another 4 years, things are going to get worse. It's not going to get better. Look at the pandemic that he didn't even tell us about until after the fact. Look how many people have died. But this is the people y'all want to have. This is the person. You want to have him and his administration in the White House. What has he done? The Dominican, this is how I know he doesn't pay attention. They're saying the economy is good, but yet I see so many homeless people on the street. I see so many people that have no jobs, but the economy is good. Where? It ain't that great in Boston, and it probably ain't great the other places, because I've been in New York City. I don't see any difference. America has $1 billion, but yet you got all these rich people that just don't want to give, don't want to help. Nobody's asking for handouts. Most of us just want the opportunity. to do what we have to do to take care of our families, to take care of ourselves. So November 3rd is the last day for people to go out there and vote. The majority of us already did. Now we're just waiting on y'all. I'm hoping you're making the right decision. You're going to be making the right choice. But you need to bring your ass out there and you need to vote. Like your life depends on it, and it does. Otherwise, nobody's listening to you anymore when you talk. It's your man D-CEE, and I'm signing out. Till next time, this is the Hot Spot with D-CEE. Everyone have a blessed day and take care of each other. Peace.